Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. So today, as I was reading through Psalm 139, I noticed the start of the psalm and the end of the psalm, and it was David, and he said, "O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me." And then he finishes it by saying, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." So a start and a finish in a similar form, but the in between. Now, when you read through verses 1 through 12, you'll see things like, "Knowest my down sitting, my uprising, understand my thoughts afar off." I don't even have words yet. You know what I'm going to say. He said, "You're behind me and before me. Your knowledge is too high and too wonderful. I can't flee from your presence. I can't go into heaven. I can't go into hell. You're there. Even the darkness doesn't hide me from you." And so basically, what David does there is he reveals his thoughts regarding God, his thoughts toward who God is. But then if you look at the next set of verses, 13 through 18, he reveals God's thoughts toward us. You know, he goes, I'll praise thee. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. He says, I'm not hid from you. Basically, you created me. You made me in secret. Before I was even a thought, you formed all my members. You know, I was imperfect. You wrote about me. How precious are thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I'm still with thee. So we see his thoughts toward God and who God is, and we see what he tells us God's thoughts towards us are. Then we have a couple verses, 19 through 22, that show a little bit of righteous indignation. He's saying, "Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God, depart from me, therefore, you bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? Am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies." And there are some angrier psalms, some vengeance type psalms, and they were suffering great persecution, stuff that most of us can't possibly understand. And so maybe we don't understand those Psalms as well or agree with them, but nonetheless, it's what he said. And so we see the revealing of his thoughts of God. We see he reveals God's thoughts of us. We see righteous indignation. But then at the end, back to those verses of "Search me, O God, and know my heart, try me and my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." He recognizes that he still needs God to help him, to search him, to try him, to know him, and to lead him. Now, when you look up that "search me, oh God," that means explore me. And then he says, and try me, that means examine, send things my way that will help reveal those thoughts that I don't know are in there, those wickednesses that I'm blinded to and don't recognize. And then he says, and lead me. That's a proceeding, meaning you get in front and exercise dominion. And so explore, examine, exercise dominion, right? Because it ultimately, what this verse is saying, or this chapter is saying to me, this psalm is saying to me, is it doesn't matter how far that you've gone with God, because there's still further to go. He still wants to do a great work in us. He still wants us to come to him, to submit to him, to surrender to him, to allow him to have full control and reign, because, guys, we don't got it perfectly together. Even David himself is a perfect example, a man after God's own heart, right? That still sinned and went against God. Anyways, I'm going to end it. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. It's an excellent prayer. I needed one. Be blessed.